Hey guys, and welcome back to Free Plugin Friday. Today we are looking at a fun little kind of synth plugin called Papu. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is basically emulating that kind of Nintendo 64 or classic Nintendo sound, but obviously you could use it for more of the 8-bit stuff too. It's just that kind of chip-tuney kind of Nintendo thing. It has 3 different oscillators that all do different things. Like I said, it's quite simple, but it does that kind of sound very well. So, not going to spend too much time faffing around. But yeah, we're just going to have a few of the sounds show you what it can do. So this first oscillator is your main kind of, I'm just going to reset some of these controls, is your main kind of oscillator for that classic sound. You've basically got a degree of pulse width and all the waves come up here in this kind of waveform thing. So it's different pulse widths. So if I might just put an ARP on for a lot of this. Just because it'll be a little, easier to show. So I've got an ARP on my keyboard, but you could use an ARP in your DAW or whatever works for you. So simple ARP, and the pulse width has 4 different settings. And they get more and more square wavy. That's obviously a named square wave. Next you have attack and release, which is what it is. Again, in steps. So if I turn the ARP off, so if we adjust that attack, let's just put the release at 0. Shorted, straight away attack. A little bit of a fade in. Longer, you get the picture, and it's a maximum of 1.8 seconds. And then, of course, same with release, like no release. A little bit, a lot of the sounds do have release on them if you listen to those classic kind of soundtrack stuff. One second. And, of course, all the way up to 1.8 again. Then you've got your tune and fine, obviously simple thing. I think you can go up by 48 or down by 48 semitones, and then your fine control is your typical 100. So when you're mixing it with this oscillator, of course, then you can go really, really high pitched stuff, and it starts kind of fading into weird distortion there. Probably aliasing and such. Now this is the main thing for your kind of weird zippy sounds, and that is the sweep. So the sweep control controls how long that sweep takes, and the shift control is 7 different settings for the kind of pitch shift. So if we start off with, let's just go shift 1. So obviously off, it would be something like this. And then if you put it a short time, I'll adjust the release so it's a bit longer. So it does depend on the shift. So we're going to start on 7 because 7 is actually the longest one. I can't hear 1 without longer sweep times, but I'll just show you the sweep time first, and then we'll listen to the different shifts. So, of course, that's really short, that laser gun stuff. Now it seems to re-trigger sometimes. Not sure what that is about, but... And that's your longest time. And then your negatives are going down in pitch, so... You can already hear we're straight away in that territory of so many games that you've heard so many times. Like, that is your sad ending failure, or maybe in Mario Party, that's when you go into a different world or something. Basically, it's not the exact same sound, but you get the idea. It very much conjures that idea. So let's have a listen to, we're going to keep on down sweep. Let's have some of the different pitch shifts. Some of the different shift settings, sorry. It's got a more of a kind of cool rotating thing going. Really quickly goes to that bottom note. Make it faster. If we go sweep up, you can't even hear it. Really. I think because it's going up in pitch, if the shift's too quick, it goes all the way to a crazy high pitch that you're not going to be able to hear. Or it's not going to be able to reproduce. At least at 48K. I'm not sure of higher sample rates. I'm not sure how the internals work on this, but I'm running at 48K. But either way, you can get cool sounds. And if we put the release up, it seems to just do its own thing. And I didn't really talk about this. It's the left and right, but you can turn that on and off. So if you want it just on the right, or just on the left, or you can turn the oscillator off. So let's go back to a more normal setting. We'll turn it off, look at this oscillator, and then we'll look at them together. So I think this is pretty much the same, except Simple doesn't have the sweep function. That classic square wave kind of thing going on there. But then you could tune it. So obviously you could tune it down and put this one on and put them on together. And then you maybe want to keep the tune the same, and you could do some detuning stuff. If you change the pulse width modulation to be different, and maybe pan them differently. So you get the idea. You can sort of kind of use them together to different things. And of course, you could use a sweep on one and not on the other. So if you want your left hand to have a different sweep, left hand side to have a different sweep. So say we do this, and maybe we put the shift to 7 and do something like this. A bit longer sweep. Or we sweep down. And we tune this one up. Or down. It's just the starting note. So. I mean, ideally what you want to do is use multiple instances of this to kind of create that soundtrack of your classic games. So let's have a look at the last one, which is a noise generator. And it does some really cool things. So if we turn the ratio off, steps there, we turn the shift off. It's just kind of this noise. It's got this interesting kind of fluttering thing going on. But yeah, it's just typical noise, but with that weird fluttering thing going on. And you've got attack and release again. And then when you use the shift, you get real cool things that you can really hear emulate that sound. And the ratio is where it starts to get really cool. The more explosion, those kind of white noise sounds that you hear, like. Yeah, heaps and heaps of sound effects from that. And obviously, like I said, use it all together. Now, it doesn't come with any presets, unfortunately. That'd be really cool if you wanted to emulate kind of a sound from different games and stuff. But it is fairly simple once you get your head around the sweep and shift stuff, and you can just, it's fairly simple synth. And yeah, very much embodies that sound. So if you're making chiptune, or you want to use sound effects, or you want that kind of maybe section of a song to have this kind of feel to it, Really, really cool plugin. So that's Papu. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, that's it for this free plugin Friday. So hopefully I'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time.